If you are online, you can see the link to the order of service in the chat. We are shortly going to need somebody to replace the irreplaceable Greg Becker, who does that for Zoom attendees every week, making sure that things are in the chat that they need. So if you're a usual Zoom attendee, and you can pick that up when the service switches to just one service and Greg cannot be in two places at once, give me a yell. We would love for you to do that now and then. There are 2 times to share in this service, at caring and sharing and at our ritual for giving thanks. So if you're here in person, the cards for caring and sharing are right here. And you probably got a fruit or vegetable shape or leaf shape from an usher on your way in. There are some more of those up here too. Online attendees, you can use the Zoom chat, or to keep things confidential, the Joy Concern email address to send things that you would like us to add to the ritual of thanks when we get there. I'll check those as well. Boy, I have a lot of things to announce because there's a lot going on today. One, I'd like to give thanks to Ofer Dalal, who is our guest conductor today. Thanks so much for being Bruce. Hard shoes to fill, but I heard you rehearsing, so I know you're doing great. Today at 1 p.m. we have a very important congregational meeting, very exciting, at which we will hear from the Campus Vision Task Force. All voting members will vote on whether to go forward with the project. If you cannot not attend, either in person or via Zoom, and you are a voting member, you can ask someone to be your proxy. You do not have to be a voting member to attend. All the information on how to be a proxy and all that, please follow the link there in the order of service. And before we get to this vote, we will also have an opportunity to hear from the Mission Task Force, which has been doing great work for months now, so that will be a real treat. Speaking of treats, we have food to tide you over. Go over to the far side of this building, the outside door of the kitchen. If you've been to Second Sunday Lunch, you're familiar with where we serve that. There will be bagels and snacks to keep you from being hungry during the meeting, which starts at 1 o'clock, as I said. And there was something else relating to that, wasn't there? Pie. Oh, the check-in. Thank you. I will get to the pie. Pie, very important. And for the meeting, I know you've checked in to be here about COVID and all that, but we need a voting check-in. Kevin, the secretary of the board, will be over there outside the main hall. So when the time comes for the meeting, please make sure to go by there, get your ballot, make sure you're signed in as a voter. On to pie. If you ordered pie from the senior high youth group, they made a tremendous number of apple and pumpkin pies, and are there a couple left that are not spoken for? There is currently a bidding war. So you can join the bidding war, or of course, if you have reserved a pie, go on over and pick it up. And if you have any items to pick up in the auction, anything to pay for. So even if it's not a pickup item, like I am doing this storytelling workshop, for example, I paid for that as well. So you go on over to room 4-5, and all your items are there neatly arranged with Castor there to help you out. I think we are now covered and ready to begin our service.
The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly tree bears the crown. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir. The holly tree bears a blossom
as white as any milk, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ all wrapped up in silk.
Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir. The holly tree bears a berry as red as any blood, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ to do all creatures good. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir.
The holly tree bears a prickle as sharp as any thorn, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ on Christmas Day in the morn.
Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir. The holly tree bears a berry as black as any coal, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ for to redeem us all.
Oh, the rising of the sun
and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly tree bears the crown. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing all in the choir.
If you have a chalice with you, please light it alongside with me. We light this chalice to celebrate the love within us, the love that surrounds us, and the love that sustains us this Thanksgiving.
Words each week, we draw on the many sources of our living tradition. Our centering words today are actually a practice whose author I don't know. But many of us have found it helpful in lots of situations. You can use this at home anytime you're feeling scattered or stressed. So first, just notice where you and whatever your body is resting on connect, whatever you're leaning on, sitting on, the floor under your feet. Just notice that place of connection. Now I encourage you to notice 5 things that you see. And now notice 4 things you feel. And 3 things you hear. Two things you smell. And 1 thing you taste. As we follow the sound of the bell into silence, let us become centered and fully present here together.
Have you ever wondered why the leaves change color this time of year? Why the green turns to red, yellow, orange? This story I'm going to tell you this morning is from a long, long time ago, from the indigenous people of the Great Lakes region, Wyandotte land. This is the story of why the leaves have many colors. For you see, there was a great battle between deer and bear in the land of the sky. The land of the sky above us was ruled by a council of animals of many shapes and sizes, all except for one, deer. One day, deer crossed the rainbow bridge to the council of animals, and bear found out. Now see, bear was proud, arrogant, and selfish. And when he heard deer had crossed the bridge without his permission, well, he got very, very mad. "I shall punish the deer!" Bear roared across the sky. He leapt across the clouds up onto the shimmering rainbow bridge. "Where is deer?" And he found deer standing there on the glowing colors. "Why did you come to this land, deer, without asking for my permission?" Well, deer replied, "I will only answer these questions from wolf. You, bear, have no right to speak to me like that. You have gone long enough being so aggressive and making trouble for the council of animals. You shall never do that again." The deer shook his head, showing off his huge, sharp horns. His eyes burned as if a fire was inside him. Well, Bear was not afraid, for his claws were long and sharp. He stood tall, ready to fight. His deep growl filled the air, sounding like thunder. And the struggle was long and intense. Deer rammed his antlers into Bear. Well, the animal council heard all this commotion. Wolf ran to the rainbow bridge. "Stop!" The dreadful fight stopped at once, and both deer and bear took off in different directions, for all the animals had to obey the wolf. As deer ran quickly, the blood of the bear dripped from his antlers and fell down to our world below, upon the leaves of the trees. Some were red, some were yellow, some brown, some scarlet, and some crimson. And now, each year, the trees of our world take on these colors and fill the world with beauty. The Wyandotte say that the blood of the bear has been thrown from the sky to the trees, and that is why the leaves have many colors. Please rise now, in body or in spirit, and we'll sing "We Give Thanks." It's number 1010 in your teal hymnal, and the words are in your order of service.
We give thanks.
This is the moment in the precious time we spend together when we can share the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another, can feel this community holding what is important to us with the same tenderness that we hold it. And there's a few ways you can share. Again, we'll have a time to share our thanks in our ritual later on, so hold those thoughts. But you can put these, as some people have done, put your joys and sorrows here. On these cards, you can put them in the Zoom chat if you're on Zoom. I'll see them there in a moment. And you can send them by email to joyconcern@uucpa.org all week long. And I will check and see if anything has arrived that way. Let's take a little time of silence to hold in prayer or meditation all that we've heard. Our hearts are full with all these joys and tribulations, but there's always room to hold more as we take this time to feel ourselves, our hearts and souls expand for all that this community holds dear. Blessed be.
This is a story from the Yarkort people who live along the coast of the north of the state. This is the story of Coyote and the acorns. Acorns were a popular food among the Yarkort people, but they have tannins that need to be removed before they can be safely eaten. So let's learn how this worked. Let us begin. Coyote went to visit his neighbors. Oh, what delicious sour acorns, neighbors. I know you know how to make everything. How do you make these sour acorns?
You put a little water on them and press them down, and about 2 days later, you look at them. Yeah.
I don't believe that. How are they really made?
That's how they're made.
No. Tell me how they're really made.
That's the truth.
I don't believe you. Tell me how they're really made.
Fine. We take the acorns down to the river and put them in a canoe.
Okay. I knew you did it some other way.
After you load them into a canoe, you tip it over and drown the acorns.
I knew you did it some other way.
And after a while, you walk along the river and find lots of acorns again.
Coyote, happy, returned home to its grandmother to tell her about the sour acorns. Hey, Granny, I know how to make sour acorns.
Yes, you damp them a little and press them hard. That's how they get sour.
No. I know a different way to sour them. So you see, you take the acorns to the river, you put them in a canoe, and then you drown them.
What?
Oh my gosh. Come on, let me show you. So Coyote took Grandma down to the river, and there they found some acorns. And while Coyote was putting the acorns into the canoe,
I was hiding some.
Coyote drowned the acorns. When he went to the river to retrieve them, he looked everywhere. I can't find them anywhere. Grandma, I've drowned my acorns.
I told you how to make them.
Oh, I'm starving.
Go find some food, but there are no acorns for you.
Coyote went to the sweat lodge to make fire.
While he's gone, I shall make the acorns. Some days later, when Coyote returned, he smelled the acorns. I better cover the fire with a blanket. I don't want him to see them.
I'm so hungry. What are you cooking?
Nothing.
You're cooking something. You're cooking acorns. I smell them. I hear something boiling.
No, that's just my stomach growling.
I hear something boiling underneath you.
I had a little accident.
I don't believe you. So Coyote lifted his grandma up, and lo and behold, he found the acorns. And the family laughed, devouring the acorns together. Will you?
Oh, nope. We don't gotta do nothing. Yeah, they just sing. Oh, we can take my apron off now, you know? around this time of the year, we start to see these cornucopias everywhere. And maybe you've wondered, as I did, where this came from, this image of the horn of plenty. So we have a story for that. It is from, this shows up in different cultures, Egyptian and Celtic and Greek and then Roman. This is the Greek story.
I am Kronos, father of all the gods of Greece. The oracle says that one of my children shall overthrow me, so I'm going to swallow them whole. They won't cause any trouble in my stomach.
Oh no, I'm about to have our 6th child and Kronos has just swallowed the first 5. I'm going to take this one somewhere that Kronos can't find him. Let's see. Here's a cave. I'll leave baby Zeus here with sacred dancers and warriors to beat on their shields outside, so if he cries, Kronos won't be able to hear him. And he'll have wonderful nurses, Adrastea and Ida. They'll take care of him and keep him safe in here and feed him milk from Amalthea. He already loves goat's milk.
Oh, drink up, little Zeus. Get big and strong on Amalthea's milk.
Nom, nom, nom!
Oh, he's getting so big and so strong. Look at him pulling himself up to stand.
Amalthea's horns are handy for that. Whoops! Oh no, I broke one off.
Oh, don't cry, don't cry. Don't you know you're a god? You can magically heal Amalthea. You can make magic with her horn as well.
She's better. Here's the magic I'll do. Good things to eat will always come out of her horn, and you will never have to worry about hunger. That's your reward for the way Amalthea and the 2 of you took care of me. And now I think I am strong enough to be on my own and leave this cave. Time to rule the world.
Oh my goodness, everything we need comes pouring out of this horn.
And that is why it is called a horn of plenty. It's from the Latin, a cornu, horn, copia, abundance, plenty, more than enough, a cornucopia. Thank you, Amalthea. And now you see that this cornucopia is already beginning to overflow from the things shared in the first service. We are going to fill it even more with the good things that have overflowed in our lives, things that we are thankful for. Now, often when we think about what we're thankful for, it turns out that who brought them into our lives isn't really a what at all. It's an animal, or the spirit of life itself, or this earth, or, of course, a person. For example, when my family and I take hands around the table and say thank you for the food at the beginning of dinner, we sometimes list some people who have brought us that food, like the farm workers who bent and pulled the carrots out of the ground. I love carrots, and oh, that has to be a hard job, bending and pulling all day long. So before Veronica begins to play for us, we'll have some silence, a time for you all to listen inside and discover what or who am I thankful for? To whom do I want to say thank you? And then if you have one of those paper fruits, or come up and get one, you can write them on there and bring it up here to our cornucopia. Again, if you're online, if you'll put them in the Zoom chat or email them to me at joyconcern@uucpa.org, I will add them to the cornucopia. Just have a little time for us to reflect and write. Will you show me the Zoom chat also, Jesse or Kevin? Thanks. In case anybody's got one there. Now as Veronica plays, come on up and bring those to Kat, and she'll add them to our cornucopia. And I'll share out loud as many as I can. Of course, you're also very welcome to come on up and read them after the service. Healing, health, wildlife, deer, turkeys around my house, hummingbirds, music. I am thankful for my husband, my family, my health, my friends, and bandmates. For good enough health for me, my family, and extended family, and access to good care. Overflowing. I am blessed to have all 3 adult kids home for Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for that at this time in our lives we are relatively healthy and have the means to be comfortable. Thank you for everyone who made that possible. The edge there. Lovely. Thank you. Cranberry sauce, gravy, and the universe. That's enough. We've covered it all. Newspaper delivery every day. You know, we're laughing. It doesn't mean we're taking your gratitude lightly. We're just filled with joy. Family, hugs, health, fall colors, tasty food, greetings, smiles, NPR, and good books. I am grateful for recent official protection of the coastline. I'm going to write that down so it shows up here. So thankful 2 years COVID homebound is over and family still talks to each other. Thankful for all the helpers, especially my emotional support person, Russell. So many things to be thankful for. It is hard to keep up, but they will all get up here. Thankful for being blessed to try creating my own startup to improve human health. We are blessed as well. Good health, friends, family. Beauty, connection, laughing. Get those up here.
We are overflowing. I love it.
Thank you. My healthy, happy, delightful granddaughter.
My daughter kept her job at Amazon.
The sound of the ocean, a quiet morning, my wonderful wife.
I am grateful for the doctors who are helping my nephew and the caregivers who helped my aunt. I am thankful that Jesselyn is enjoying Maryland and Emma is enjoying Oberlin College. Yep.
My kids, Amal and Sahar. Thankful for my wife, kids, dog, and our brand new roof. Hey, the rain is a-comin'.
All the vendors at the farmer's market. I am thankful for my family and friends, their loving support, and for good health, mine and theirs.
There is so much to be thankful for, and you know, it does our hearts and our spirits and our health good to see other people's gratitudes as well. So do come on up after the service and enjoy seeing them. Oh, I'm going to add one more that just came by email, and I'll put it on a paper as well. Wisdom, health, experiences, and sunny, warm days.
So as an introduction to our offering, I have a story. This is a story of Choko Ana from the indigenous people of the Awanachi tribe. There once were two little boys living in the valley who went down to the river to swim. When they had finished their bath, they went on to share and lay down on a large boulder to dry themselves in the sun. While laying there, they fell asleep, and they slept so soundly that they never woke up. Through many moons and many snows, they slept on that great rock. And little by little, the rock rose up, rising bit by bit until it soon lifted them up out of sight. Their friends searched for them everywhere without success. Thus, they were carried up into the blue sky until they scraped their faces against the moon. And still, they slept on. Then, all the animals below assembled to bring down the little boys from the top of the great rock. Each animal sprang up upon the face of the rock as far as they could. The mouse could only spring a hand's breadth, the rat 2 hands' breadth, the raccoon a little more, and so on and so on. The grizzly bear made a great leap on the wall, but fell back like all the others. Finally came the lion, who jumped farther than all the others, but still fell without reaching the top. Finally, there came Tuko Ana, a little insignificant measuring worm, who was despised by all the other creatures, and began to creep slowly up the face of the rock. Step by step, little by little, he measured his way up until soon he was above the lion's jump, and still farther and farther until presently he was out of sight. And still that little worm crawled up day and night through many moons and many snows, and at length until he reached the very top. And he took the little boys and brought them safely down to the ground. And therefore, that rock was named after that little worm and was called Tutuk Anu Allah. Just like in the story, we know that it takes all of us to make a change in the world, even the smallest amongst us. That's why we have a weekly spiritual practice of generosity, where we have the opportunity to support the vision of our church community. The order of service gives a QR code and a link, and also information on using text to give via Give Lively, Or if you prefer to use check or cash, you may bring it up now to the box. The offering will now be given and received.
That's faith. Hope, love, and joy. All right? You don't even need the words, I'll give it to you. Now let us sing, sing. Faith within us, to the power of the faith within. Be not afraid, sing to the power of the faith within. Hope, to the power of the hope within. Sing to the power of the hope within.
say after. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Loud are the bells of Norwich, and the people come and go. Here by the Tower of Julian, I tell them what I know. Ring out, bells of Norwich, and let the winter come and go. All shall be well again, I know. Love like the yellow daffodil is coming through the snow. Love like the yellow daffodil is Lord of all I know. Ring out, bells of Norwich, and let the winter come and go. All shall be well again, I know. Ring for the yellow daffodil, the flower in the snow. Ring, ring for the yellow daffodil, and tell them what I know. Ring out, bells of Norwich, and let the winter come and go. All shall be well again, I know. All shall be well, I'm telling you, let the winter come and go. All shall be well again, I know.
Shall be well again, I know.
All shall be well again, I know.
Please stay after the benediction for conversation time, whether in person or online. We'll all begin with greeting time, a chance to speak to someone you haven't met before or haven't seen in a while. Old-timers, please greet a newcomer and see if you can find out enough about what brought them here to introduce them to someone they'll want to meet. Now, if you're online, please unmute yourself, turn on your video, and touch hands virtually like this. I'll use my other hand too. While we say our benediction together, and if you're in the main hall or on the patio, reach out to hold hands if you and the person next to you are comfortable, to show that you're connected in spirit. You can cross your hands over your heart. Go out into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering.